Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Suidlanders, how are you? We hope that all Suidlanders are well. You may have picked up that one of the little themes I've been exploring, not very much, but enough, in recent days, is the blatancy, the conspicuousness, that is to say, the obviousness, die voor die hand liggendheid, if I may coin that phrase, in a language that is not my own and which I don't wish to abuse, of the National Democratic Revolution at present. And it made me think of an article written quite some time ago. I'm looking down at it now on my telephone, written on the Daily Maverick, and it's entitled Coalescence, that means coming together, of Radical Economic Transformation, one of the policies of the National Democratic Revolution, forces behind cigarette ban suggests more at stake than the nation's health. And it was written 5 months ago by Vanessa Berger. And I'm just going to read through this. I'm going to begin with the subtitle and then read to a point. So bear with me. Right. The political allegiances of those supporting the controversial lockdown cigarette ban suggest that 11 million smokers and a large chunk of the country's economy may have become collateral damage. That means unintended damage or peripheral damage, they weren't the object, in the latest chapter of the ANC's internal power struggle between President Cyril Ramaphosa's faction and the forces of radical economic transformation. Now, we would say to you that those two forces don't really exist as such, as discrete forces. That there is indeed a sort of a mortal struggle occurring in the ANC. There is a fight to the death. There is something very serious occurring at the highest levels of the ANC. But that to some extent, the identified forces are red herrings. They're meant to distract, that they are not what they are made out to be. There's another expression in English called a straw man or a straw man argument, where in a dispute you bring up points that are not directly relevant, but which score you points, make you look good, although you're not addressing the issue in dispute. So that's the kind of idea that we have here. Right. So they refer to Amabungane. Amabungane is the investigative arm of the Mail and Guardian, the Weekly Mail, the Mail and Guardian newspaper. Amabungane are, what do you call these little beetles? Dung beetles. The implication being that they sieve through the poo to get to the real stories. Okay. In Amabungane's recent piece, now this is Vanessa Berger writing for the Daily Maverick 5 months ago. In Amabungane's recent piece, she's referring to it, Battleground Social Media, How Disinformation, Propaganda and Manipulation Shape Our Online Discourse. Investigative reporters Susan Comrie, Micah Reddy and Sam Soul wrote, "We can rarely see who directs disinformation and propaganda. We can only infer means deduce, who may be responsible based upon whose interests it serves and the faint trail it leaves in the political ether." I will not, this is Vanessa again, I will not argue the pros and cons of the cigarette ban that has ignited social media since, President Cyril Ramaphosa first announced it, the day before South Africa went into lockdown and smoking was, to all intents and purposes, criminalized. I am more interested in the composition of the grouping that has come out strongly in support of the ban and what this may mean in terms of the political trajectory of our so-called constitutional democracy. The ban and its potential extension beyond lockdown alert level 4, possibly until level 1, which could be until the end of the year. Remember that she's surmising, she's speculating 5 months back, has been relentlessly advanced by Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Minister Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma. A rabid anti-smoker whose 2017 campaign for the presidency was partly funded, or she actually writes, allegedly partly funded. I left out the allegedly because there's now such an overwhelming preponderance of evidence for it that allegedly is to err on the side of, I don't know what, political correctness. Partly funded by illicit tobacco kingpin Adriano Mazzotti. Mazzotti's backing of the ANC is no secret. Neither is his support for the economic freedom fighters, who have remained uncharacteristically mute on the nicotine ban. They subsequently came out in favor of it when it was reinstituted. Floyd Shivambu openly supported it. Floyd Shivambu openly supported it. But it's the sentence prior to that that catches me. The ban and its political extension beyond lockdown alert level 4, possibly until alert level 1, which could be until the end of the year, has been relentlessly advanced by Minister Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma, a rabid anti-smoker whose 2017 campaign for the presidency was funded by illicit tobacco kingpin Adriano Mazzotti. What is occurring now is now occurring without shame. We are now in that phase of the National Democratic Revolution where, frankly, they don't care if you hear them singing "Shoot the Boer," if they are caught singing "Shoot the Boer" publicly. And then there is a spike in both the number and the ferocity, or the viciousness, of farm murders. They don't care if they are caught singing "Burn the Farmer." And then between 30 and 40 separate arson attacks, many of them involving more than one fire. Ignite a fire, ignite a fire, ignite a fire, ignite a fire on a farm, move to another farm. Between 30 and 40 attacks alone, razing, scorching, something approaching 200,000 hectares occurs. They don't care that you know it. Ladies and gentlemen, there's not much that I can add to what I've already said. There's nothing very interesting that I can say, except to sort of somehow echo in your minds the thoughts already occurring. Namely, this is now game on. The game is on, ladies and gentlemen. They are doing it incrementally. They are taking 3 steps forward and 2 steps back. The famous Bolshevik technique. They are enlisting the support of the media in keeping it somehow a little bit quiet. But among themselves, they are laughing up their sleeves at us. That is to say, they're laughing and they're trying to avoid us seeing that they're mocking us openly. That they're well aware or very conscious of the foolishness of the mainstream conservative Caucasian population of South Africa on this stuff. As long as it's not headline news, the majority of us won't believe that it's true and resist it so that they can continue unhindered, unhampered, unfettered to utterly destroy South Africa as you and I have known it. I think that enough is said. Thank you for listening. Take good care of yourselves, and we'll speak again soon. Bye-bye.